Welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. If you have not already, it will be fantastic if you could click that button, subscribe to our channel and join us. Today we're going to be making some fried chicken. As you can see right there, I'm using drumsticks. You can use any part of the chicken that you like, quite frankly. Today I'm just going for chicken drumsticks. Now, a lot of people put lots of videos up about copycat KFC. These are better than KFC, and that is my opinion personally. I don't want to make KFC chicken, I want to make it better than that. I believe that these are better. KFC is okay, but it's fast food. These are homemade, fantastic. We've got some beautiful spices in there. Let's go and do it, because I can't wait to eat these. Spicy, crispy, crunchy, beautifully moist in the middle there. Perfectly cooked. Let's get started on this fried chicken. Let's take a look in here. These are the herbs and spices that we're going to mix with our flour. So I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, black pepper, chili powder or cayenne, basil, paprika. Now I'm using the smoked paprika. If you can get that, that's great. Coriander and marjoram. You could use oregano if you want. I'm going to post the text up for these as well. We've also got here 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, and just here we've got 1 teaspoon of a baking soda. We're going to mix all of that to our flour. I'm using about 1.5 to 2 cups of flour. So we're going to mix that in with our flour along with some fine breadcrumbs. Mix that together and that's going to be our coating. Let's go and do that. So here I've got some plain flour. About 1.5 to 2 cups there of plain flour, and to that I'm going to add 1 cup of fine breadcrumbs, and then we're going to go in with all of our spices. Let me just repeat them again for you. So we've got salt and pepper, chili, garlic powder, ginger powder, smoked paprika, or you could use a sweet one, baking soda, coriander, basil there, and marjoram. You could use oregano, like I said, if you wanted. Very simply, we're going to mix this around. And of course, guys, you can play around with this and add some different herbs and spices if you want. We just prefer this one. Gives it a nice little blend. And I like adding a little bit of the breadcrumbs. You know, kind of a 2 to 1 flour to breadcrumbs. That also gives it a nice little texture. There you go. Perfect. Let's move on. So here we go. Here's our flour seasoned mixture. We've got loads there. I mean, that's way too much for the amount of chicken I'm going to just show you now, but I'll use that later. Here I've got a couple of eggs, just beaten. And today I'm just using some, as you can see, drumsticks. Now, we're going to double dip these guys. So what we're going to do is into the egg, into the flour, and then repeat that. And we're going to do that on all of these. Then we're just going to set them aside. It's usually quite good just to use one hand. Don't use the other hand, because you're going to get lots and lots of egg all over and flour mixture on your hand. So do the egg with one hand, do the flour with another hand. Really helps actually. Let's go. So here we go. Egg. Just a nice coating. Drop that in. Other hand. Our seasoned flour. Perfect. Set that aside. Do all of these first, and then we're going to repeat the process. You kind of need just a little bit of time. Just let them sit for a bit while you're doing the others, and then we're going to double dip. I'll crack on with this. Okay, so as you can see, 1 coat's done. We're going to go in again with a double dip. Bit of egg on there. In that goes. Change hands. And we've got our lovely double dipped, seasoned chicken ready to be fried. Now you want to get your oil on now, guys. We're going to deep fry these. I always find that the best way to do it. And like I say, you can play around with these seasonings quite a lot. Celery salt's quite good as well. If you've got celery salt in there, that really works. You'll be amazed how much celery salt is actually used in loads and loads of things. So grab some of that if you can. But yeah, you can muck about. You can put a little bit of extra chilli in there. Just dipping again, going in, changing hands. Try some different spices. I mean, you can put a little bit of food colour in if you wanted as well. You could maybe put some turmeric in, or an actual food colour that will kind of colour the flour up and make it fairly vibrant. Or you can, you know, go in a different direction with them in like a Mexican vibe, or an Indian vibe, or Chinese vibe. Chinese vibe, maybe put some sort of 5 spice in. 5 spice powder. Really, that's a really lovely flavour, that is. Yeah, just muck around and do it. Right, these are nearly done. So I'm getting the oil on. My oil's on right now. Let's get over to that cooker and let's get these bad boys done. So I've got a pan here with, which I'm using today, sunflower oil, but go ahead and use any oil that you like, quite frankly. Now we need to get our oil hot. Not crazy hot though, otherwise the chicken's just going to burn. So you want it about 180, something like that, which I think is about 350 or something like that. I'll put some text up again. Let's just check on that, hang on. There you go, that's good. In they go. Now, I'm not crowding my pan. If you crowd them together, they're going to stick, and you know, it's not going to be so great. For these drumsticks, I would recommend that you do these ones. I mean, these size ones. I'll just show you in my one in my hand, so you know what I mean. They're going to be about 7 minutes, I would say. And again, if you're using a larger part of the chicken, you know, breast, like a whole breast or half a chicken, obviously you've got to do it longer. If you've got some small wings, you know, no need to do it so long. You know what the vibe is. I reckon these are going to be about 6-7 minutes. I'm going to flip them, you know, every couple of minutes. Can you see that the oil is not going crazy? We don't want it, you know, we're not making French fries here. What will happen if that is the case, if the oil is too hot, raw in the middle, completely black on the outside, no good. See you in a few minutes. As you can see, these have turned that familiar colour that we're after. And I really want to stress the temperature of the oil. You can see that, in fact, and hear it. It's not going crazy. If it's going crazy, your oil, black on the outside, raw in the middle, absolute disaster. So this is a really important part of the cooking process, is to get that oil at a nice temperature, but not raging hot. They're looking absolutely wonderful. Right, out they come. And I'm going to pop the other ones that I've got in. In they go. Give them a stir every now and then, you know, turn them over, keep moving them. Especially if you're doing what I'm doing. This is not actually deep frying. So what will happen is that they'll be on the bottom, they're not floating. If they're on the bottom and you leave them, they'll get black. So turn them, but you know, get on with it like that. Flip them. But you can see what we've got here. I mean, they do not look too shabby if you ask me. They're going to taste great as well. Back in a moment, let me sort these ones out. As you can see, guys, nice and gentle. Flip them over again. I mean, they're really crunchy. That's because we double dip them, you know. That's quite an important part of it. They're about 4 minutes away, I think, now. So there we go, guys. I've taken them out and I just put them onto some kitchen towel just to drain any excess oil off. They really are fantastic. Like I say, you play around with them and get in some spices that you like. You don't have to do what I've done. Really crispy and crunchy. They'll be beautifully moist on the inside. I'm going to taste one in a minute. Make sure you cook them nice and slowly. It's really, really important. Otherwise, you're going to have raw chicken burnt outside. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon. See you later. Whoop, still hot, hot, hot. Wow. Oh, wow. Absolutely beautiful. Steaming hot. Spicy, crispy, crunchy. Beautifully moist in the middle there. Perfectly cooked.